USS Kephart was a Buckley-class destroyer escort in the United States Navy. She was named in honor of naval aviator Lieutenant William P. Kephart. Launch and initial operations. Kephart was launched on 6 September 1943 at the Charleston Navy Yard, sponsored by Mrs. A.P. Kephart, Lt. Kephart's mother, and commissioned on 7 January 1944, with Lieutenant Commander I.H. Kaman in command. After shakedown off Bermuda, Kephart departed New York on 23 March for convoy escort duty in the Atlantic. During the next 3 months, she made 3 runs from New York to Gibraltar and Bizerta, Tunisia, returning to New York on 30 June for conversion to a Charles Lawrence-class high-speed transport. She was reclassified APD-61 on 5 July. World War II operations. Kephart departed New York on 30 September and joined the 7th Fleet at Hollandia, New Guinea, on 10 November. As a unit of Transitive 103, she departed in convoy on 17 November and arrived at Leyte Gulf, Philippines, on 24 November. After a run to the Palace, she embarked troops of the 77th Infantry Division at Leyte, and steamed on 6 December with Task Group 78.34 amphibious assault at Ormond Bay. During landing operations on 7 December, Kephart's guns splashed 2 Japanese planes in a fierce raid. Returning to Leyte on 8 December, she embarked soldiers of the 19th Infantry Regiment. She sailed on 12 December for Mindoro, and landed assault troops at San Jose on 15 December, again under heavy enemy air attack. Returning to Leyte on 17 December, she continued on 20 December to Hollandia to prepare for anti-submarine and amphibious operations. Carrying men of the 158th Regimental Combat Team, Kephart departed No. M4, Schouten Islands, on 4 January 1945 to rejoin the fight to liberate the Philippines. Steaming to Luzon, she arrived at San Fabian, Lingayen Gulf, on the 11th of January, and landed reinforcements. Despite constant harassment from enemy planes emerging from the heavy air attack unscathed. Returning to Leyte on 15 January for 3 months of anti-submarine patrol, Kephart took part in scattered landing operations in the Philippines, at Grande Island, Subic Bay, Puerto Princesa, Palawan, Zamboanga, Mindanao, Cebu City, Cebu, and Cotabato, Mindanao. Kephart departed Leyte Gulf on 4 May for escort and assault operations in the Dutch East Indies, arriving Morotai on 7 May. After escorting a convoy to Mindanao, she returned to Morotai on 21 May and embarked troops of the Australian Army for an amphibious assault at Brunei Bay, North Borneo. Sailing on 4 June, she landed troops on 10 June amid dwindling enemy resistance. Then she patrolled the South China Sea, hunting submarines before returning Morotai on 19 June. She sailed on 26 June carrying Australian soldiers to the eastern coast of Borneo, arriving on 1 July for the final major amphibious operation of the war, the landing operations at Balikpapan, Borneo. Continuing escort and anti-submarine duty, Kephart departed Morotai on 16 July and reached Leyte Gulf 2 days later. On 4 August she began amphibious training at Albay and Laganoy Gulfs, Luzon, in preparation for a possible invasion of Japan. After the fighting ended on 15 August, she sailed from Leyte Gulf on 29 August to Okinawa to embark occupation troops for Korea. She reached Jinsan, Korea on 8 September, and then shuttled between the Philippines and Korea. She steamed from Jinsan on 29 October via Sasebo, Japan, and Okinawa to Tsingtao, China, arriving there on 14 November to support support the Chinese nationalists' effort to repel communist aggression on the Chinese mainland. Post-World War II operations. Returning to Okinawa on the 22nd of November, Kephart embarked 147 homebound veterans and departed on the 26th of November for the United States. Steaming via Pearl Harbor, she reached San Diego, California on the 16th of December. 2 days after unloading her passengers, she sailed for the East Coast, and arrived at New York on New Year's Day 1946. Following overhaul, she departed on the 8th of February for Green Cove Springs, Florida, arriving there on the 11th of February. Kephart was decommissioned on the 21st of June, and entered the Atlantic Reserve Fleet at Orange, Texas. She was struck from the Navy list on the 1st of May 1967 and transferred under the Military Assistance Program to the Republic of Korea on the 16th of May 1967. Kephart received 5 battle stars for World War II service. As of 2004, no other ship has carried this name. Gyeongpuk. Kephart was renamed Gyeongpuk by the Republic of Korea Navy. She was redesignated APD-85 in 1972, renumbered APD-826 in 1980, redesignated to 826 in 1982. Gyeongpuk was purchased outright by the Republic of Korea on 15 November 1974. Gyeongpuk was struck by the ROK Navy on 30 April 1985.